All right, it's that time again. Right now, we are on our way to the beautiful San Fernando Valley. Currently sitting in early morning dead stop traffic. Last Valley video I did, it was a little bit different. I drove around the valley showing you filming locations. It was a little bit of a mashup between my filming location videos and my valley videos. I'd say most of the locations that I showed you were ones that I've already shown you in filming location videos, but the point of that video was to show you how many filming locations there really are in the valley, so close to each other. And a lot of you really loved it and asked me to do a part 2, and so that's what we're doing today. If you did not watch the last one that I did, part 1 of the valley filming locations, I will put a link at the end of this video so you can check it out. Before we get started, I want to pause here for a minute to thank my newest Patreon and YouTube members. Okay, so starting with my newest Patreon supporters, again, if I pronounce your name wrong, I'm really sorry. I will do my best. Thank you to Bill Roberts, Kelly Crefield, Elizabeth Maloney, Lucas Rumfield, Doug Tunes, and Casey Chrysler. Thank you all so much for being Patreon supporters. And then my newest YouTube members, thank you to Coding Monkey, Mind the Drift, Beast of Logan, Danny Santos, Westside Media, AE, and Roger A. Thank you all so much for being Patreon supporters and YouTube members. All right, we have got a lot of locations to try and look at today, so let's go see what we can find. All right, we made it to the San Fernando Valley. This time we are starting our journey on the far east side of the valley, like Studio City, North Hollywood area. And we're about to get to our first location, but let me say before we get there, I apologize. My window is a little dirtier than last time. I had forgot that I was going to be doing this video today, so I forgot to get a car wash and wash the window. So I apologize if you get some dirt in the shot. Okay, we just turned off of Tujunga and we're on Dilling Street. And a lot of you have probably already seen this location. Oh, someone's sitting in front of it right there. Let me turn around. You might have already recognized it. All right, I turned around so we can get a better shot. There it is, the Brady Bunch house. This is probably one of the most photographed houses in the San Fernando Valley, if I had to guess. You saw right when we were pulling up, someone had just sat down in front of the house and their friend was across the street waiting to take their picture. So yeah, this is the house that was featured in the Brady Bunch TV show. Of course, just used for establishing shots. They did not film inside of this house or in the backyard of this house. Now, I'm sure most of you know the story about this. A few years back, I don't know what it was, 4 or 5 years ago, this house went up for sale and there was a bidding war for this house. Lance Bass from NSYNC tried to purchase this house. He was outbid and it ended up getting purchased by HGTV, and they used it to do a reality show where they were remodeling it so that the inside of the house would look like the actual Brady Bunch house. And they got the cast from the Brady Bunch to be on the show. They were supposedly the ones doing the work. But this is it. It looks like the Brady Bunch house. It always did, but there were a few things that had changed on the house over the years, but they've now made it look exactly like it did on the Brady Bunch. They even permanently put a window right there. The window that was in the TV show was a fake window that they put up to make it look like the house had a second story, but they've now put an actual window there. Man, I wonder how much the neighbors hate the Brady Bunch house, because this is a pretty quiet neighborhood. It's in a really nice part of town. I'm sure most of the people that live in this neighborhood are somewhat wealthy, And yeah, that, like I said, there is constantly people outside of the Brady Bunch house. Okay, continuing down Ventura Boulevard, probably about a mile or so from the Brady Bunch house. This is Radford Avenue. And if you make a right on Radford, you will find the CBS Radford Studios. A lot of TV shows filmed here. The first one that comes to mind back in the 80s and 90s, this is where they filmed my favorite TV show, Roseanne. And even when they did the reboot, they filmed it here. This is where I came. I got to come to one filming of Roseanne, and it was funny. I had never been here, and I was trying to figure out where to go to park, and I was pulling up right here in front of the studio, and Roseanne was actually standing right here on the sidewalk. She was wearing some like leopard print pajamas. She was on her cell phone. It looked like maybe she was waiting for someone. Yeah, it was really bizarre. All right, turning back onto Ventura Boulevard from Radford. This Sephora right here, this used to be Dupar's restaurant, and they filmed a couple of scenes from Valley Girl at that Dupar's. And then right here on the corner of Ventura Boulevard and Laurel Canyon, some scenes from Earth Girls Are Easy were filmed right here. However, this was a gas station at the time. And then also right here, some scenes for Earth Girls Are Easy were also filmed right here where this bookstore now is. This is where they pull up next to the girls, and the girls ask them if they went to Van Nuys High.
Van Nuys High? Van Nuys High?
Passing Whitsett Avenue on Victory Boulevard. I believe I showed this last time. This used car lot right here. This was the Christmas tree lot in Lethal Weapon. Again, I think I showed that last time. I'm getting confused. I pass these places all the time, and I've made all these filming location videos, and I'm forgetting. Right over there, you can see the tower for Valley Plaza. A couple of different things have been filmed there. The movie Magnolia, the riot scenes for Straight Outta Compton, and right across the way was the ice skating rink that was used in Encino Man. All right, this next one is a little, oh, what the hell's going on here? That's the Valley for you. Oh, there's another guy over there. Anyways, what I was about to say is this next location is definitely out of the way from the other ones. It's about 10 miles from where we just were, but it's definitely worth it. Oh, this actually is not the location that I was going to, but we happen to be passing it. This school right here, this is not only, this was not only used in the movie La Bamba. This is the real school in real life where the plane crash happened. If you remember in the beginning of the movie La Bamba, the two planes collide and then the debris falls down onto the school. Well, this is the school that was used in the movie, but this is also the real life school. Okay, we're finally here, Roslindale Avenue in Pacoima. I give you the McFly household. This is where Marty lived with his brother and sister and his parents. Right there in the driveway, that's where Biff was starting on the second coat of wax. This is where Doc pulls up in the DeLorean and tells Marty that they've got to go back to the future. Right there inside of that garage is where Marty finds his 4x4. A lot of stuff was filmed here in front of this house. Still very recognizable. Those large power stations behind the house, very recognizable. One of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, Back to the Future. Just a couple of blocks from the McFly house. I showed this last time. This is the 99-cent store that was used for the Zodies in Blood In, Blood Out, where Miklo comes to rob the Zodies. I didn't realize how close this was to the McFly house. I should have showed the McFly house in the last video, but again, yeah, I don't know, it didn't click. I hope Marty was safe during that shootout. Okay, we're now a couple miles away from the McFly house. We just turned off of Woodman onto Saticoy, and the next location is right down here at the end of Saticoy. This was the office. Scranton, PA. This was the building that was used for the office. Not only did they film inside, but they, of course, filmed a lot of scenes right here in the parking lot, which you used to be able to get a pretty good shot of the parking lot because this gate didn't used to be blacked out, so you could actually see inside of there, but they probably got sick of people coming by and taking pictures and staring inside. What was cool was if you watched The Office when they were actually filming it, you could come down here and you could catch them filming. There was quite a few times that I came down here and you would find the parking lot full of all their cars. Specifically, I remember seeing Dwight's car parked right there on the other side of the gate. There was one time that I came down here, there were a few people hanging out, and Phyllis came out to wave at everyone and say hi. That was really nice. But yeah, it was cool to come down here and see it all dressed up and with the cars and everything. A lot of stuff was filmed out here in this parking lot. Up there on the roof, that's where Michael goes up there and he pretends that he's going to jump off the roof. Of course, he's got a bouncy house on the other side waiting for him. About 2 miles away from the office on Calvert Street in Van Nuys, you can find Jim and Pam's house. It's this one right here. Originally Jim's childhood home, and then he purchases it, and him and Pam start their family here. This is actually the first time I've been to this location. I've been to a few of the office locations, but not all of them. And this is my first time seeing Jim and Pam's house. So we're probably, if I had to guess, about 5 miles from Jim and Pam's house, and a couple of different things at this intersection, Beverly Glen and Ventura Boulevard. Right here is a Whole Foods, and this Whole Foods is relatively new. Before this Whole Foods was here, there was a little food place right here on the corner, like a little hamburger, hot dog type place. There was a flower shop. Back in the day, there used to be a gas station here. And that little food place that I'm talking about, that was used in the Tom Petty Free Fallin' music video. And then I mentioned there used to be a gas station here. That was the gas station where James Dean stopped and filled up his car shortly before crashing it. And then right over here across the street, Casa de Cadillac. This is the Cadillac dealership where he drives the car through the window in Commando. Right there, that's where Cook would have crashed through the glass. And then he makes a right turn and heads down Ventura Boulevard.
West down Ventura Boulevard.
Continuing down Ventura Boulevard, now a Home Goods and a Marshall's. This used to be a bowling alley, featured very briefly in Valley Girl. And then if we continue a couple of blocks down Ventura Boulevard, we get to Havenhurst. Now this, not really a filming location, but now it technically is. Okay, just a couple of blocks off of Ventura Boulevard. This is the Jackson house. This is where Michael grew up with all of his brothers and sisters. And the reason why I say that I guess this is now technically a filming location is I was just here a couple of weeks ago and they had this entire street blocked off. You could not drive up and down Havenhurst right here. This whole block right here was full of old cars and they were filming scenes for the new Michael Jackson movie. So technically, this is now a filming location. All right, I got turned around now, headed back the other direction to Ventura Boulevard. And right here on the corner, supposedly this Gelson's is where Michael and his brothers and sisters, they used to walk down here. I mean, it makes sense. It's literally just a couple of blocks from their house. But they used to supposedly walk over there to get candy and, you know, snacks. Right here is where Greg Brady turns off of Tampa onto Ventura Boulevard in the Brady Bunch movie. He makes a right turn and then heads down Ventura. This is when they're on their way to school, and their school is on Ventura Boulevard down this way about a mile or so. Okay, so we just continued down Ventura Boulevard, like I said, about a mile. This is Ventura and Winnetka, and this is Taft High School, and this stood in as Westdale High School in the Brady Bunch movie. And this is also where Ice Cube went to high school in real life. If you watch the Straight Outta Compton movie, it shows that Ice Cube got bused from Los Angeles into the San Fernando Valley. They did not use Taft High School in the movie, however. About a mile away from Taft High School on Burbank Boulevard, you'll find another school. This is formerly Hughes Junior High. You can actually see it still says up there, Charles Evans Hughes Junior High School. But this was the school from Karate Kid. Actually, Daniel would have rode down the street right here and then came into this driveway up onto the sidewalk and locked his bike up right over here. You can see it still has the plaque that you see in the movie. But not only is this the school from Karate Kid, this is also the school from Summer School. And what I always found funny about that is this school is about 1 block west of Shoup Avenue. And of course, the teacher in Summer School, Freddie Shoup. This school was also used in Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And I'm pretty sure that there's other things that have been filmed at this school. I just have to figure out what they are. We're now headed to the northern part of the valley, and another spot from the Brady Bunch movie right here next to this Jack in the Box. This is where Greg stops on their way to school. This is nowhere near where they were. This is where they're stopped at a light, and the carjacker tries to get them to get out of the car. We're in a shopping center on Roscoe near DeSoto. This is Casa Tequila, formerly Mancini's, which was a really cool venue to play at or to see shows at, like back in the 90s. But what we're checking out is right next door to Mancini's. It's that pawn shop right there. This was Zed's pawn shop in Pulp Fiction. There it is. I wonder if Zed's here today.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Okay, we're now in the North Valley on Devonshire between Canoga and Topanga Canyon. And right over here on the left side, you'll find the Munch Box, which is one of my all-time favorite hamburger stands. And then across the street at Devonshire and Owens Mouth, right here on the corner, you'll find the Cowboy Palace Saloon, which is featured in the movie La Bamba. This is where Richie plays when he's first starting out, and this is where he plays when he's got Bob backing him up on drums. Also, right here in this area on Devonshire, they filmed some scenes for the movie Licorice Pizza. Now, I haven't actually seen that movie yet, so I can't tell you exactly what scenes they filmed here, but I do know for a fact that they filmed some scenes because I saw them filming them. And as you can see, the buildings right here have a very retro look, which explains why they filmed in this area. And of course, they dressed them up to make them look even more 70s. Okay, we're on Chatsworth approaching White Oak. And just on the other side of White Oak, he would have been coming in the opposite direction. He would have been coming towards us. This is where Brad Hamilton's driving when he's supposed to be delivering the Captain Hook's fish and chips to the boys over at IBM. And you see him pass by that Jack in the Box. You can kind of zoom in a little bit. You see him pass by that Jack in the Box. And then right here is where he stops at the light. And he realizes that the girl in the Corvette is laughing at him because of his uniform. And then if you make a right turn onto White Oak, literally just right around the corner from that scene in Fast Times, you might recognize all of these trees. This is where Elliot and all of his friends are riding their bikes. Literally right here where I'm driving, this is where they're riding their bikes. And then down there at the stop sign is where all of the police officers are waiting, blocking the road, and then Elliot and E.T. take off right about here, and they soar up over those trees. Okay, we're heading back down south, and we're passing by the Northridge Mall, and this is the backside of the Northridge Mall on Shirley, and it's gone now, but right here used to be the parking structure that John Connor comes out of, and then he's riding his motorcycle down Shirley right here. He's being chased by the Terminator. And then if we continue down to the end of Shirley to where it dead ends at Nordhoff Street, make a right. I mean, this all looks different, but right over in this area, basically where this Toyota dealership is, this used to be Malibu Grand Prix, and that Malibu Grand Prix was used in summer school. That's where they take a field trip and they're riding the go-karts. Right here. Just about 2 blocks away from where John Connor is running from the Terminator. Continuing south on Tampa, coming away from the Northridge Mall, at Tampa and Roscoe, all of this right here on the right side, this used to be a farm. Yeah, I don't know, you could pass by here and see horses and all kinds of animals. And this was the petting zoo. I think it was right over in this area, but it was this whole block was the farm. And this was the petting zoo in summer school, where they take another one of their field trips. And I already showed you this in the last video, but just to give you an idea of how close this stuff is to each other, that petting zoo is a couple of blocks behind us. And then right over here is the Karate Kid apartment building. And right over there is the Shakey's Pizza that was used in License to Drive. So just a couple of blocks away from that petting zoo. All right, this next location is also just a couple of blocks away from the Karate Kid apartment building, the Shakey's Pizza from License to Drive, and the petting zoo from summer school. This is another location from The Office that I've never been to, and okay, I actually did not know that this was a gated community, but on the other side of this gate was the condo, Michael Scott's condo from The Office, where he eventually lived with Jan. Not sure which one of these it was. Oh well, sorry, didn't know that this one was inside of a little gated community. I mean, I guess it could have also been one of these as well. Same little gated community. I mean, they all look the same anyways, right? That's why Michael couldn't find his condo. And I had no idea that this was here. Like I said, I've never been there. And literally right here, these townhouses, actually, this unit, right? Sorry, I'm making it blurry, but that unit right there, I used to live there when I was 11 years old. I don't think those condos were here at the time, but yeah, I didn't know that Michael Scott's condo was like basically right across the street from where I used to live. And I was just noticing as I was driving by, the garage to my old unit is open. I mean, this is probably only exciting to me. I haven't seen inside that garage since I was 11. I used to have a mini half pipe inside of that garage. It was my first half pipe that I ever had. And also my childhood bike, my Kent BMX, got stolen right out of that garage. I was stupid enough to leave the garage door open with my bike sitting right inside the door. And as you can see, we're on a major street. All right, we are back on the south side of the valley, back on Ventura Boulevard, about to make a right turn onto White Oak. And I'm gonna show you guys one more before I wrap this video up, because I think it's starting to get a little long. And again, I still didn't get to show you everything. There is just so much stuff. I might have to do a third one, I don't know. But I think even doing a third one, it still won't cover everything. There's so much stuff has been filmed here in the valley. Okay, we're a couple of miles south of Ventura Boulevard. I turned on the wrong street. This is Alonzo, one street over from White Oak. And right here, this is Allie's house from Karate Kid. Danielle's mom would have parked her station wagon right there. And then right here in the middle of the street is where they have to push it to get it started. And Allie's parents stand right up there watching. Oh, the front door's open. Never been here when the door's open before. They put a gate around the front door because they got sick of people coming up and kicking the brick, I'm guessing. All right, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.